Hi everyone, this is Mukesh from learnautomation.com. So today we are going to cover very interesting and very important question in terms of your interview purpose, or you can say if you're working with the real-time applications, you will get this web table and calendar very frequently. And the way to handle this web table or calendar is very straightforward. You have to just understand the small logic that we are going to discuss in just a few minutes. So I will walk you through a current agenda. So we will discuss what is what is web table, what is calendar and calendar versus web table. So now we having two ways to handle this web table. So I will show you a static way, and I will highly recommend don't use this because this will run only for a certain time period, and once you move forward or if small changes in the date, this will fail. So we'll stick to the dynamic approach. That is our next topic: how to handle dates, or you can say web table in a dynamic way, so that your script will go for a long run. So before moving to web table, just one example. I'm assuming everyone know this table concept, but still, so table in web pages is you can say a separate table just to manage web elements in a structured way. I think I did some mistake here. I should check manage, not manager. To manage web elements in a structured way. So here we will use some tags. So we have three, you can say three mandatory. Th is the optional. So table is a tag, th is a tag, td is a tag, and tr. So table will be the parent. Th stands for table heading if you want to specify any heading, table data, and table row. So before getting into the actual web table, I will quickly show you how you can create your own web table. So I created a notepad and I will simply type table here. So this is just a pure HTML. So if you want to try, you can also try from your end. I want to create a table, and inside this table, so there's one tag called tbody. So if you want to use this tbody, you can use. Uh, I thought I should have mentioned. So I will mention the slides again. So in this table, I want to create two rows, and each row will be started and closed by this forward symbol. Let me increase the font size so it will be easy for you. Okay, so I have one table and table will be closed here. I have one t body tag that will close here. Inside this body, I need to create three rows. So I will copy paste this three times. So in the first row, I want one table data, and here I will say Selenium. I will close this td, and here I will say Selenium RC. So this is in table. I have one row. Actually, we have three rows, but in first row I have two data table. Table data one Selenium and table data two Selenium RC. In the same way, I will put some dummy data in the second row as well. So if I say Selenium builder, and I will say Selenium WebDriver. So in second row also I have two rows, but in third row I will add one more content here. So here I will say Selenium IDE. Here I will say Selenium grid, and let me add one more data here, and this time I will say Selenium Maven or Selenium test ng. So this is just a small dummy page which I'm creating. So I will save this notepad as a .html file. So on desktop, I will create a new folder called my web page, and here I will say table, or let's say web table dot html. So inside double quotes, if I specify web table.html, So it will create a web table for me, and if you want to see that table, uh, web pages. So this is the HTML file that we created, and you can see it's showing in a tabular format. So if you see in the row 1 I have two data, table 1, oh sorry, tr1 we has 2 td, tr2 having 2 td, but tr3 having 3 td, so it's showing the third value as well. And you must say why it's not coming as a table, and the reason is we have not created any table border. So if you want to see the border as well, simply type border equal to 2, and if you refresh this, you will get a border as well, right? So that's a separate part, it's a pure HTML, you can play with HTML. So now you must be familiar with this tr and td and table, right? So now if you go to an application that is redbus.in, and here I have the same structure. If I click on this date of journey, you will notice it is nothing but a table only, right? Table, and I have some table rows, table data. So if you want to cross verify, I will show you. Just open this Firebug from here, it will come up. Now click here and start inspecting one by one. So if you see here, I have one, you can say specific ID. Then it says table 1, table body, third row and fourth data. So if I go again, now just focus on the XPath. So as of now, XPath says TD1. Just focus on the XPath bar, TD2, TD3, TD4, right? And if I go to the next row, it changed from TR4 to TR5, TR6, TR7, and so on, right? And if you notice the XPath, currently the XPath is coming table 1. But if I go to the second one, same thing is coming but with the table 2, right? So everything is same, only here we are getting two tables. Table 1 will contain your December 2015. Table 2 contains January 2016. So one static way, simply double click on this, let's say, yeah, double click, click on this date of journey, select a specific date, that's all. That is static way. So let's continue with the static one first, then I will show you the dynamic because it requires some coding as well. So as of now I will create a separate package called web table concepts. I will create a new class, say date picker demo. I will stick to publish static void main. Let me quickly write 3 lines of code that start my browser. So WebDriver, driver equal to new Firefox driver. I will maximize this. Then I will pass the URL. So URL is very straightforward. I will simply pass redbus.in. Now I need to click here first. So I will directly take XPath of this. So ID is very straightforward, txt onwards calendar. I will say driver dot find element by ID. So when you click on it, it will take 1 or 2 seconds to come up. So just for the temporary purpose, I will use 3 seconds of wait, that is 3000. Since I have not created any video on how to handle this dynamic wait, I will suggest you stick to this regular approach, that is thread.sleep. It will wait for 3 seconds and you will notice it is throwing interrupted exception. So as of now click on throws. So once you will wait for 3 seconds, this window will come. So I want to select today's, so I will select 6th December. So I have this XPath. I will directly copy paste, and I can see here this is TR3 TD7. So if I change this to TR4, it will give me the next date, that is 13th December. I will stick to the third row, that is nothing but 6th December. So I will copy paste this. This is just to show you how this works, but this is not the recommended way to use this, because assume this script will be valid till 6th December, right? If I run the same script after 6th December, it will definitely fail, because the date will be the past date and it's your script start failing. So you need to write a dynamic way to handle web table or calendar in a such a way. So whatever date you specify, it will take the date of the next month. So your script will remain, you can say, uh, constant, and it will not fail. So I will show you, it's a very interesting tutorial. So just stick uh, till we discuss that topic. As of now, it will open Redbus, it will click on the calendar, then it will select the date, and finally, okay, do not close the browser, otherwise we will not be able to see the behavior. So let's run this. So now browser has started, and it will load the default URL, that is Mozilla. Now it will pass redbus.in. Now it will click on this. There's some issue with our code. Let's check. Okay, actually we have not written dot click. We missed one click event here. So it's not getting this, right? Since we are not clicking, this will not come. So we need to click this first. So let's run it again. Run as Java application. So yes, application loaded now, and now let's wait. It clicked on the date. Now after 3 seconds, it will select the 6th December, right? Because this is just a very straightforward way. Click on this, then select the date. But what about the dynamic way? As you can see, this we cannot rely on this because it will change for sure. So in the dynamic approach, let me copy paste the same code, so we will not mix up. Let's copy this code, paste in a new package, demo advance. So now we need to understand one very important topic. So if you have gone through my previous videos of how to write dynamic XPath, then you will get this concept very easily. So if I identify this particular window, let me show you. Yeah. So this is nothing but a separate window, right? Now here I have, if you can see this, this is coming in a div tag, right? If I open this div tag, that is this one, I notice I'm getting two tables here. And what is this two table? This is table 1, that is for December 2015, and I have another table that is for January 2016. Now let's say I want to select from table 1. So if I expand this, I noticed there's one table called month table first, and there's another table, right, that is having a different class name called month table last. So I will take the first table. I will simply type double slash table at the rate class equal to class name. So I got this class, or what you can do, you can see here it's giving you two matching nodes. So it's not a, it is identifying one more. So let's use this one. I can see there's only one div tag. So just remove this type div, and I can see here I have a specific ID called redbus cal underscore. So let's use this ID. Yeah, you notice only one div is coming. Now I will say I have two tables, right? So I will say table 1. So now it will focus on the table 1. Now from table 1, if I see I have so many rows, right? Now just I wanted a small attention here. This is nothing but a TD, right? TD1, TD2 and so on. So from table 1, I will check all the TDs. Okay, so you can see it's giving me all the TD from the table 1. So some TDs are blank, so you can, as you can see here, 1 2, these are TD. So some TDs are blank as well, that is month. um, After 31 we have 3 default blank TD. So this XPath is giving me all the TD. TD nothing but table data, and I can see it is returning me 45 elements. But out of this 45, I want to select the 31st of this current month. Okay, that is last date. So I will go to this separate example. This is advanced. So this time I will not use this static way. I will use driver dot find elements. So till now were using you can say a unique XPath, right? So it was matching with single element, but this time we have 45 web elements, so I cannot use the first one. I have to use a second approach using find elements, and if you see it is returning me list of web elements. Obviously previously we had only one element, so it was giving one web element. This time we have 45 web elements, so we need to use the second method, that is find elements by XPath. So this is the XPath that we have written. So with this XPath I can understand it is getting that calendar. From that calendar it is taking the first table and it is giving me all TDs. Since it is giving me list of web elements, I will store this in a list of web element, and I will say uh, dates. So when you say list of web elements, it will ask you to import this. So put mouse over on this list. Now very important, you can see now you will confuse here which list to import. So import always from java.util, and now it is asking give me the web element import. So yes, import. So I will start giving comments here. So it will store all the web elements in list. Now we need to run a small for loop. That for loop will simply check all the dates one by one, right? And while doing this looping, I will check 31st or 30th and I will click on it. So I need range, so I will say size method. So this is our list, right? Dates. So if I say dates dot size, it will return me the total note which is coming through this XPath. So I got this total note that is equal to 45. Now I will run a for loop that will start with 0 and that will go till the number of nodes we have. And what I will do, I will start taking the values from this list. And if you're not able to visualize this, let me show you how internally this will store all the web elements in list. So it will create a list internally and it will store all the dates in list format. And list will always start from 0th index. So it will store in this way 1, 2, 3 and so on. So we'll start taking the values. To take the values from the list, we have a method called get. So whatever index you will pass, it will return you that web element. So I will take the first element and I will say get text. So this will return me the date in a string format. I will say date. So it will start giving me all the dates. And if you want to print, you can print as well. But I don't want to print. I will just write a small condition here. If the date which is picked up by WebDriver is equal to 31, then click on it. So this is the web element, right? I will say dot click. So once it will click, I don't want to run this further, so I will say break. So it will break the for loop and it will come outside this for loop. So just a 4 lines of code. I can understand it's quite, you can say, um, confusing for you if you are new to Selenium, but I will try to summarize it again. We already discussed how to take the XPath, so if you are still not able to understand how I created this XPath, refer my previous two videos, Dynamic XPath Part 1, Dynamic XPath Part 2. So with this XPath, we got one list of web elements, that is date. Since I need to run a for loop, so I need the total count. So using this dates object, I call one method called size. So it will return me the total count as an integer format. Now I'm running a for loop that will start with 0 and it will run till the number of nodes we have. So each time it will take the first value. So if you run from 0, so it will take the first element, it will capture the text and we are comparing. If the text which is captured by WebDriver is 31, then only go inside this if statement, click on it, otherwise break. So let's run this first, then I will show in a debug mode. So you will be able to relate this. As of now, let's run this again and run as Java application. So it is starting our application, Redbus. It will click and it will select the 31. It is still not selecting. There's some issue with our code. Okay, no, still it is waiting. I think we need to do some changes in our code. So let's debug this and let's use equals ignore case. I guess equals is not working. So let's try with equals ignore case and let's run it again.